What to do if you can't sleep? Huh. That's a tough one. There are some approaches that I don't personally have experiences with to like guarantee it, I guess. But for me, what I like to do, I actually almost like when I can't sleep because that means that I get to fantasize. I'm a big maladaptive daydreamer. I say maladaptive because I only recently learned like last year that that's not necessarily a good thing. Wherein I love to just like, rather than doing things and rather than putting in the work elsewhere, I love to just lay in bed and imagine things that aren't real. I'm kind of able to just play out any fantasy in my mind that I want to. If I want to be like an elf, or if I want to be like a merchant or a blacksmith, or if I want to be a whale, I can kind of imagine that really vividly in my mind. What I'll do is I'll lay in bed, I'll close my eyes, and I'll almost like develop a screenplay, you know, wherein like I'm enacting my fantasy, I'm developing it brick by brick. But if I don't like something as much, I'll actually rewind and do it from the beginning and go back to that point with the new change in play until it's perfect. And then I go like when I've gotten all of it down perfect, I go all the way back to the beginning, and then I run all the way through to the end with all of the changes that I've made. And usually by the time I've reaching that point, I'm already asleep. I'm snoring. That's what works for me, and I really enjoy it. I love using my imagination, but also imagination is different for everybody. Like your brain works differently depending on just who you are, so that may not work for anybody else. Another thing is to just like think about positive things in general, but think about gentle things. Like if you think about something that's too exciting, that'll just keep you awake for longer. If you think about the day ahead, the next day, that can be exciting, but that can make it hard to fall asleep. I like to think about, I've talked about this before, roses and thorns. What I'll do is I'll think about one bad thing that happened, because you know it's really hard to avoid thinking about the bad things, so I'll accept it. I'll think about a bad thing that happened. For every bad thing I think of, I'll try to think of 3 good things. And I'll just kind of like think about the day that I've just ended, the day that I'm about to go to sleep on, the day I'm about to wrap up, and I just think about what happened. You can also introduce buds into that, roses, thorns, and buds, where like a bud is, if I'm recalling correctly, a bud is like something that could start new, like something to look forward to, right? Like it's not bloomed yet. Like the general concept of like a rose, a flower that has thorns on it. The thorns can hurt, but the blossom is so pretty, right? And that's the most noticeable part of the flower, in my opinion. You only find the thorns on a rose if you go looking for them. If you're just looking at a rose without touching it and examining it really closely, all you're gonna see is the petals, right? I like to think about the better parts of my day. And if I really, really, really struggle to think of good things that day, sometimes I'll call on the previous day, like the day before, and I'll see what good things I can think of for that. Sometimes if I really need to, like if it's a really rough time, I'll even just play back the whole last week. If I needed to, I could just play back the last month, think about good things that had happened. The more positive the memory, the better. And that way it kind of, it can help put you at ease and ease any worries if you're the type that tends to think about more negative things before bed. It's a very common thing, unfortunately, to have thoughts that you should not trust after 8 p.m. Like I'll be balling and I'll be doing great. And then the moment the clock strikes 8 p.m., my brain is like, I should upheave everything. I should shave my head, change my name, and move to a different country. But that's not a realistic plan for anybody. Not a very good idea. I have a very strict policy of never trusting any thoughts you have after sundown. And if it seems like it's really, really important, this thought that you've had, write it down and come back to it later. That's what I suggest. More than anything else, when it comes to trying to fall asleep, the best thing for me is to just make sure I'm avoiding anything that will keep me awake. Other like practical habits rather than like mindfulness habits, right? Like more pragmatic physical things. If you are the type that spends a lot of time at your desk, like on your computer, or if you use your phone a lot, most modern devices will have a yellow screen feature where you could set a clock schedule so that it will remove some of the blue light from the display at a certain hour. That's a really good thing to do as well, because in our brain, when we receive blue light signaling from our eyes, that tells some like parts of our mind that it's daytime outside. because the sky is blue and we get blue light from the sun, and it's all, blue light is part of how our internal body clock knows what time it is in the day, So when we're seeing a lot of blue light, we think it's daytime. I guess we don't actively think it's daytime, but like we almost function as if it is daytime. So a good habit to have is to set your screen so that maybe a couple hours before bedtime, you switch to like a yellow light filter. Or I guess it would be a blue light filter because it's filtering out blue light, right? It ends up looking really yellow orangish, really warm. Another good habit during the day, if you don't have any sunlight coming into your room and you're on your desk, a good habit is to keep your lights on while you're at your desk using your computer. I know it's so comforting to like just stare at a screen in a dark room, but that's really bad for your eyes, strainful for your eyes as well. Main reason being that you want your screen to kind of blend with the light around your room, stuff like that. Part of the theory for like light mode and dark mode, the whole point of dark mode is that it kind of matches your dark surroundings if you use your computer in the dark. So if you insist on using your screen in the dark, it could be good to switch to dark mode if you aren't already on dark mode. That can help. And in general, aside from that, another thing that can really, really help with sleeping at night if you struggle with insomnia on a regular basis, like every night or every other night, another good thing that can help if it's a regular problem is making sure that you are active during the day. We sleep to regain energy. That's what sleep is for, ultimately. It's so that we can recharge our battery. And so if you do not expend your energy in the day, if you aren't actively spending any energy on anything, if you aren't exercising or going out or like walking around, it can be difficult to initiate that recharge, because you're going to seek to spend your energy in other ways. You're going to seek dopamine through like reading or through like browsing social media. So something that has helped me, I find that I always get my best sleep if I'm exercising in the day. Like even just a simple walk helps me sleep at night. Of course, do not exercise right before bed because that will just rev you up. You want to do it like earlier in the day. Even just something simple can help. That's something I recommend. Sometimes it can be a serious medical issue that causes these things, so it's important that you are like in communication with a doctor if you need to be, and that you aren't doing anything that will make it worse. There's no like true one size fits all, but that's what has worked for me as someone who used to really, really struggle with insomnia. There was a time in my life that I would just never sleep properly. I'm very thankful to be able to sleep better now and to be able to kind of control my sleep a bit better now.